Hello guys, welcome back to the crew Waldron. Driving all cars, part number 21 we are already. The Dutch Viper, or in this case, as it's called in the game, the SRT Viper GTS. 2013 model. There is another Viper in this game. If you play this game in the beginning and you get yourself eventually 100 points won from awards in Uplay, you can download the 2010 version as well. But that's for a later video. This is the 2013 version. It's just like the Corvette Stingray C7. It comes with only one of the normal specs and two extreme ones, drift and drag. Performance for the normal one, 640 brake horsepower. I'm not 100% sure what is running this thing. In the past I know it was an 8-liter V10, but is it still in there? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not that familiar with the engines of American cars, so oh, where are we going? Okay, this is not a drift spec that you're looking at, this is just a full stock. And it's already drifting all over the place. We'll see. But that cannot be a good thing for handling if the full stock already is drifting on you. But power it has. So, who knows? Might surprise us. This is a performance spec that we're going to look for, so then we are talking the best time so far, 22.8 Aston Martin Vanquish. The worst time being a high 24 or a low 25 from one of the Escalades or the Eldorado, one of the Cadillacs. And other than that, a bunch of cars within the 23 second range. One mile drag, full nitro bar, we hit on the first checkpoint, which is the quarter mile. I also have a second checkpoint, a half mile, intending to use that for drag cars, but I'm using drag cars on a different track now, so bit of wheel spin there, first gear. The blue glue is coming from the side pipes. $340 something, which most of the performance specs do on the finish. But probably the spinning wheels on the start is a problem. So we get a 24.6, which is one of the slower performance specs we have tested so far, and we are meanwhile 21 videos running in this series, and most of them tested did have a performance spec, so nope. This has an acceleration problem, which is kind of strange, but we'll come to that later. The reason I say that is, I will tell it immediately here now, is that one of the best accelerating cars in drag is this one. Kind of strange that the performance is kind of slow at the 1 mile drag. But yeah, it was what it was. 24.6, the numbers don't lie. Pretty decent acceleration if you look at it like that, if you give it a little bit of power by using the nitro. Brakes seems to be okay. Oversteer. More oversteer. I prefer that over understeer situation, but I don't know. This is a bit too much, I think. You hit the brakes, go back on the throttle, and it goes into a slide every time it seems, and that's costing you time in events where time matters, like time attacks or... Yep, here again, you all over the place. This is one of those cars that you probably can have a lot of fun with in free drive, because you can throw it around from one corner to another. What not necessarily means that you're going to go fast, but fun it will be. So that's probably the plus here on this car, the fun factor, let's call it that. Pretty decent on the first jump. Okay, it's a different way of taking that jump, and the reason for that is I was fighting with the car there. Top speed it was going 360 something, but okay. The smallest car driving around with the IA drivers, or AI, what is it? And you can't even push that aside. So it's pretty light apparently, although it is a heavy car, but this one cannot really take a hit, so it's going to slow you down if you hit a lantern or a lightning pole or traffic lights or garbage bags, stuff like that. It's probably going to slow you down. Can't really take a hit. Let's test something here, shall we? What you probably can do with this thing is kinda... It's spinning wheels in first gear. It slides all over the place, a bit too much on oversteer. I don't know. There's a good chance you can write your name with it. Maybe I should test that. Yep. Skids marks, tire marks all over the place. Yep. You can have some fun with this car, and you probably can write your name if you concentrate on that. But that's not the idea, is it? So we are dealing with a spinning wheel situation here, and too much oversteer. And a pretty long nose, and then, well, a long car in general, so nope. Average is the best I can make of it, and that's not good if you're gonna deal with time attacks and stuff like that. So forget about the performance spec. Moving on to the drag spec, and then we come into a whole different ball game. On short tracks, where top speed doesn't matter that much, this is probably the best drag car in this game. If top speed comes into play, then you have the one just below it there, the rough CTR3, then that is the best, but it's definitely the second best drag car in this game. And on short tracks it will be the best. What we often do is use this one in combination with the rough CTR3, because this one has a better acceleration, the rough has a better high top speed. So if you can use both, it works perfectly. on a medium-long track, let's put it that way. A long track is a complete different story, will be for one of the next videos. But that is in a crew. So let's see what it can do solo here. Same situation as with the other drag cars I've tested so far. The first run, oops, it's not as stable. A little bump in the road there. So far we've tested the Camaro, the Corvette and the Challenger, and they all kinda were pretty stable there. This one is a bit lighter, I guess, a bit too light maybe, or the wrong weight balance, and you might lose that one on simple bumps or jumps. Other than that, I'm doing 3 runs. The first run I hit the RPM or the nitro at 6000 RPM. The second run, which is this one, I will hit it at 5500, and in the last run I will hit the nitro at 5000 RPM. And it kinda differs from car to car, which is the best run. So some cars you have to hit the nitro a bit later, with others a bit earlier. 6000 RPM was, what did we have, 22.0, 35 something, 22.068 in this one, so a bit slower. Last run, hitting the nitro at 5000 RPM. It will get obviously it will give less high top speed, but it will have a higher speed for a longer straight, so might work with some cars. But the top speed on this thing is not that high, so probably the best run will be the first. Although the second one was not far off. 22.1, that's a bit too early on the nitro, I guess. So 5500 to 6000 RPM will be good for this car. And the best time we have is a 22.035. That is half a second faster than the Challenger, and which is the worst car of all, and the Corvette C7, and about 4/10 faster than the Camaro, which is kind of a big difference. But like I said, experience tells me that this is, on a short track, this is probably one of the best you can use. If it's medium long, then you have to go for the rough. Also on a long track if you do it solo, but if you not do it solo, then there is another one coming into play, which we will come back to one of the next videos. What else does it have? A drift spec. (3,200) brake horsepower, I just noticed here. Quite a lot. Not sure. Resetting here for the drift. Manual, bring back a few things to 80% instead of 100, and change the controller type to wheel. Although I play with the keyboard, mentioned that already in different videos how it works. Pam pam pam. I don't think I have this one upgraded either. All my cars are at 12.99 except for the drift cars. I have a few at 12.99, but not all of them. At least not yet. We'll get them there eventually, or just buy the parts. Seems to do pretty long slides. 5, 6 gears. That is a good thing. It's kinda we're sort of comparing here with the Corvette Stingray, I guess. And that one has the 7 gear problem. Well, at least for me it's a problem. I don't like drift cars with 7 gears because you're constantly fighting with the right gear. It's not gonna be the case with this one. You probably can keep it just in 2nd gear and keep it going. The score of this car is 757, so I guess I won one part. it comes out of the tuners with 749 score, so it doesn't matter that much, because if you can flick it around good, that's kind of what matters. You will score less, of course, because your speed is not that high, so you will cover more distance with a faster car. But that doesn't matter that much for the flicking around or drifting itself. Second gear here. Just gonna keep it in second. It does 135, 136, but it tends to do long drifts, probably because it's a pretty long car, and well, that can never be a bad thing if it does long drifts. Now I do not know if you put this at 1299 if the speed will go up in second gear. I'm not 100% sure of that. Otherwise you might have to put this one in third gear, and then it might turn out to be a bit of a different ballgame. But meanwhile, even that difficult downhill corner there, okay, I should just shoot a Oversteer, but we're just trying to say, meanwhile the multiplier is still going. Until I took that corner and lost it. It's probably gonna lack a bit of power here. Third gear, no, third gear is gonna make it flip out. Yeah, better go back down to second. You will have a higher speed keeping it in second gear with some other cars. That might be possible, but other than that, it's pretty good in the long corners like this one. It keeps drifting all the way. You do not have to flick the car around or change the angle. Oh, pretty decent. Pretty decent in drift. But we have to come up with the best use for this car. Well, performance definitely is not it. Drift can, for sure, it can be used. Yeah, I have one little part, level 34, and now this one. Definitely not bad in drift. But the best use, yeah, well, there is no way around it. Best use gotta be the drag spec. It's one of the best cars around, and on short tracks it is even the best, because it has a superb acceleration compared to other drag cars. It is a bit light, so you might lose it on a track where there is one or two jumps or bumps in, as they come up with sometimes in these summit events. But it is the best accelerating one out of the lot there. So, best use the drag spec. I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.